这个画呢，我们就画圆圈儿。圆圈可以画出玫瑰花的感觉。 Okay, as I am doing it, I start to find some thing interesting. Actually, first I am coming everywhere. It is better to start from here, and then since I'm writing right hand, so that it can always keep the paper clean. And let me see if I turn it around. I think it has a different dynamic. You can see it's upside down or downside up. I find it, even if you plan something, it actually turned out to be different from what you have planned. And that is the interesting part of doing art, of experimenting, right? If it comes out everything as planned, it is much less fun. And this, even if you plan to do it exactly how it should be, as you keep on doing, your hand takes its own life. The pen goes on with its own life. And that is the fun part of doing art. Its unpredictability and its evolution, actually. It goes and takes its life in its own right, and I find it fascinating. So this is coming from, this idea comes from a student frustration. I think I have done this, and I still remember this student very vividly. There was one time in class, I say art class, there is no mistake. 你在美术课上不会犯错，什么都可以做。So there is no mistake in art. And then he was trying to do something, to do some drawing, and got frustrated because it did not came out as he wanted. So he started to do scribble, and make the paper break the paper, make a hole on the paper. And he was frustrated and not, and he is a polite student and does not want to go against teacher to say something rude. They just want to make his point that he is frustrated. And doodle is, there is mistake in art. See how ugly it is. So I said, you can just keep on doodling. Let's see what we can turn out. So we did this doodling, and it becomes a rose. It's just a scribble. So this is actually the initiation of this idea. From that frustration experience, I want to create some texture, and I want to make it uniformly the same. But since this is not computer-generated art, right? This is not a digital art program. It's not perfect. Our hand have this natural intuition of going here or there, and it changes. It cannot be always stable, exactly the same. So this way, we create our image more lively, more artsy, right? I can use a computer drawing program, no matter Procreate or Illustrator or any other thing. I can do with computer to make a more sleek and neat design. But there is beauty in it, because if you get the machine do the job, if you get the computer do the job, you lost that process of experimenting. And also, most importantly, you lost this evolution of idea. I am becoming more and more fluent in this style. I can see, and your hand becomes a kind of a mechanical. This is kind of just mechanical details, right? It's a mechanism of going. I have not thought about doing some large one and put small inside. This was beyond my original thought, but it can work. Maybe later on I will find some new ideas, right? That's the important thing to do drawing. This is not perfect, but this is better than the perfect machine-made one. So we can make different signs, a little bit different curly-whirly. So what we are doing is creating texture. There need some consistency, even if you do it scribbling, even if you do it very roughly, very rudely, very audaciously, or very abruptly. You need a certain consistency, right? Now we are practicing it. So I feel it's kind of infinity. You can keep on adding, and this is actually very interesting. Like to do it. It's very relaxing. If you do it, listen to the music and keep on doing and see how it turns out. We are not doing much more. I do in this small piece of paper. So that's the point. You practice and start to see idea evolve, skill evolve. You become more mature, you become more fluent, you become more variety, more manageable, and the shape actually start to change, and that's the beauty about it. Now I peel it off and see how it is. Interesting. So this is the texture we are producing. This texture is not very smooth, but is relatively smooth because the shape is the same. It is not smooth because the starting shape, the basic starting shape of it is not smooth, right? It's just scribble, scraggle. So get a piece of paper, not too big, and get your favorite pen. It can be any pen. It just needs to be consistent. I have some of these pens. After some time, it start to dry out. Well, it can produce another interesting texture, but what I am trying to do is producing exactly the same texture. So that is a texture producing, and I have done some other texture producing, and that's when I am in the mood, not in the mood of doing something. This is very, very random. I do not even have an idea what it is. And I just do the line and put some dots, and you put it together. It's quite decorative, right? Use black pen. And this one I started from one dot and start to do some flowers. How do I connect them? So I connect one by one, adding more and more. And then the inside, how do I make it interesting? So I start to put some dots inside. It's not the best one, but at least it creates some textures. It creates some interesting things. It's just we just need to follow our intuition. I think this is kind of in the night. I do this middle of the night doodling, and this one also. You just keep on, have a couple of these ideas, and then keep on. And they are mostly lines. You can see the lines not even very good, not even very smooth. But take advantage of these not very good lines. Becomes a different kind of texture, becomes a different kind of variety of the line work you are getting. So I think this must be some not so good line, or maybe I try to make this curly whirly. And idea does not come at the very first shot. And this is practice a lot of time, and slowly you get, oh, I can do just narrow in shape, and this one like coral leaf shape, and this one can be just a zigzag, 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 zigzag. Keep on. I think this is just like this, and then put a dot there, and slowly put things. And this one I do not even know what shape I should use, and this end up like a little bit like a tadpot, cuddle. And this one is a very random shape. That's not even. It's always a curly shape, curly, 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 and see how the curly can develop. It's roughly the same length, not exactly the same length, but within a certain range. Some long line, some short line to connect the long line. Let's see. This one I have no idea what I was doing, and maybe I started from the center, or maybe I start from this one, and just to keep on adding. It's not pretty, let me add another layer. It's not pretty, add another until it ends up like this. I have no idea what I was doing. And this one start from curly whirly curly. I want to do a geometric shape of it. It kinds of getting some of that feeling, especially here. You can more or less feel that it's like a tube here. And this one is just to keep on. Let me see if I go one line, and how far can I go, how many layers I can put. And I have done this, I have done a tree project in class, and a third grade student did the root, very much like this, the tree root, and one on top, one behind, and I find it very interesting. I didn't thought about it. See, I had a mistake here. This should not be here. But you just allow yourself to calm down and develop idea. So this is one of my medicine to save myself from depress, from stress. I think this kind of drawing is very, very helpful. And how much does it give us? I mean, it gives us a quiet time. And as for how much real skill does it give, it makes us more comfortable with using pens. And it gives us a chance to think and draw, to slow down, and understand a little bit of the relationship and layer of it. There is some mistake, or not mistake, there is something that goes nowhere. It should be, there should be some more of it. This one is trying to make the flower, and this must be sharp, I think. This is a different pen. And see, I always do this, and can do some of this radiating. And this one is any shape. And this is a variety of shapes. I have no idea. I was just, all these later on will help in getting a consistent hand, consistent shape, and a variety of shapes. Does not have to be within a circle. If I do something like this, I sure want to make everything within it. But this is also quite, I just randomly did some line, and then each of these space has a different design, more or less a different design. That is what I was practicing, some good, some better. And this is to practice one almost the same flower, many petals with a center, and see how many kinds of flower arrangement I can make out. See? And this one is a tree. This is you can more or less feel it's a line of trees. From the tree right in front is bigger, and going back a little bit smaller. And actually, if now I see it, I will do this, use thicker pen, medium pen, and thinner pen, because the further away the vague, the more vague it is, the vaguer it is. And here is another. This one, you add some line, it becomes a birch tree or something. And this is interesting. You make this line and then you can see the inside and make sure that where to put these little small lines. I like this one. I like this one. And this one is quite a rough one. It's quite I think I have some others. Yeah, this one. This one use. This one I try different pens. So the outline I use the thickest pen, 1.0, and then I start to use small pen. I think this is 0.38. Maybe this exact pen. It is very likely this exact pen. And I like this hexagon shape. Oh, it's almost finished. There is some problem with this pen. Let me see if I can. I am using this water. See? And sometimes the ink does not even go through because it's so thin, and it creates an even more interesting. Right? It is even more interesting this way with some of this feibai. And this one use different color. And this one use this smallest brush, and you can see this. Wow, I did made a lot of. I started. I think I just started with such a shape, and I have no idea. So how about add a wing, add a fin, and this thin brush, and it did take me some time. See the mouse. And this one, a lot of detail in it. Look at this. How did I do this? How did I do this? I forgot. I forgot how I did this. But I'm proud of this. What did I do? With this one. Oh, this one I use. What did I do with this one? I do not even know. This I use kind of calligraphy pen. This is a wide calligraphy pen. Yeah, now I can show you. Something. Oh yeah, this is this one. The color is not even. See, the color is a little bit bluish. Different from this. This is a little bit like Arabic calligraphy. I played around with this kind of pen, calligraphy pen. I do this very, very often because it's one way to calm me down. And you just follow the intuition. Between these two, there is another pedal. Between these two pedals, there is another pedal. Between these two, there is another. I intentionally make some directional change, but it's one after another. And this one is also from smaller until it is a lot. I'm almost falling asleep. Anyway, that is about it. You have a beautiful, beautiful